Hey guys, it's Sasha. At the end of last week, I sold one of the big positions in my portfolio. And in this video, I want to tell you what I sold, why I sold, and what I'm doing with the money now that I have sold the stock. And no, I didn't sell because I am panicking about the stock market and how everything is going to collapse. No, I also did not sell because I am a trader trying to time the market because I can draw random lines in the chart and I know exactly where the tops and bottoms are. I am going to tell you exactly why I did sell in a minute. Now, you might have noticed that I don't talk about individual stocks as much on the channel in the last few months. And the reason is that as my channel has grown, I have had to adapt and cover broader topics. When my channel was small, going in depth on stock analysis, doing videos about individual companies was great. The channel grew, I got loads of views, people seem to like that kind of content. I tried to share unique takes and insight that some people seem to find useful. But recently, my channel has crossed the 100,000 subscriber mark and my videos are now getting a lot more reach. And I realized that the majority of my audience doesn't really want to watch stock analysis videos. And whenever I made those videos, I took a lot of effort, but they got no views. When I put out some videos in Q4 last year about individual stocks, they did very badly. So now I make that kind of content for my Discord members only. If you want to join Discord to join the conversation, if that kind of stuff is interesting, the link to my Patreon is in the description. So last week, there was a lot of discussion in the Discord about AMD because my latest price target for AMD was $110 and the stock broke through the $100 barrier. And my investing strategy is incredibly boring. Every stock that I own has a price target. The price target is my view of what a fair value for the company is right now. I don't waste my time making dumbass, pointless predictions like what seems to be incredibly popular on YouTube in the world of investing. I don't invest in the stock because I looked at the tea leaves and it told me that it will go to $173 on December 17th because all of the clowns who put out specific time-based stock price predictions are just making wild guesses that are coming out of their ass based on information they neither know nor have any ability to control. There is exactly zero way that you, I, anyone can know that a stock is going to go to any particular price at any particular point. There is zero way that you can know if a stock will ever hit a particular price. What you can know, though, is you can go and build a valuation of any business based on your own assessment, based on all the information that you have of the future cash flows of that business, why those cash flows are going to be happening, how you derived all of your assumptions, and you can determine what the potential risk profile around your valuation is and calculate what the upside is. The upside is the difference between the current share price and what you feel your fair price valuation is. And you probably want to have some confidence that there is a decent likelihood that as time progresses, your valuation may increase if the company outperforms in the future. And my approach is really dull. If a company's share price rises to match my valuation, I sell the stock. I do this every single time. It doesn't matter what the company is. If you've watched the channel for some time now, a few years, you will have heard me say the same thing a long time before. This has happened with AMD last week. The share price for AMD broke $107 and I went and sold my entire position across all of my investing accounts. I first sold it in my Man vs. the Market portfolio. You can see that I got out at $107.15. This is the small public portfolio that I openly share with my subscribers and on my channel, but the price went up a bit after, so I actually did a little bit better in my main accounts accidentally. My latest AMD valuation was pretty recent. I only looked at it on May 3rd after they announced their Q1 results when the price was $81. And my target price was $110. I've actually held AMD stock for a long while. I've been a shareholder for years now, so I've done pretty well out of that position. I recently moved my Man vs. the Market portfolio to Interactive Brokers because I love the platform and because Stake increased their fees. If you want to check out Interactive Brokers, check out the link in the description. I am really genuinely a big fan of the platform. But you can see that in the original Man vs. the Market portfolio, I bought most of the AMD stock at around $76 to $80. So selling out at $107 is a pretty decent 35 to 40% return. It's interesting that the target price when I first started covering AMD stock on YouTube about 2 years ago was $125, a little bit higher. And my target price actually went up way higher than that, towards the $200 mark, as the business was exploding, the Xilinx acquisition happened, and the stock market was going absolutely bananas in 2021, and everyone was buying AMD processors. I clearly massively overestimated the long-term optics at the time on AMD, and my target price went way too high, but it then reverted back to $120 in November last year, and after the recent economic slowdown, slowdown affected AMD sales, my target price fell down to $110. And here is the interesting thing. There is every chance that I am selling early. I am never claiming that I know that it's going to stop now and go down. This happens all the time to me. I sold Nvidia at about $205 back in 2021 when the stock ran up. It hit my price target. I made a pretty decent return, but it's now 50% higher, so I missed out. Oh dear. This will happen all the time with my investing approach, but I don't really care. I'm not here to try and guess the exact tops, the exact bottoms. I am here to play the game of averages. I know, insanely boring, but it yields far better results in the long term, and it's done pretty well for me so far. So there we go. AMD could run up really high because the economy might start recovering in the second half of this year. Maybe confidence is going to return. People are going to start buying more stuff. The underperforming parts of AMD's business, like retail sales, might pick up. The AI craze could go nuts, and AMD might ride Nvidia's coattails, and the stock could go absolutely bonkers. It's possible. But I never hold on to a stock for the what-if scenarios, because the exact opposite could also happen. The AI craze, the bubble might just burst and people will move on to something else. The economic slowdown might be protracted, and AMD is going to be affected for a long time, and this is going to affect their sales in the future because you're going to have to discount them by more and more. I see a lot of finance channels on YouTube who fall in love with a particular stock, and they will never sell no matter what. They become absolute fanboys. They will hodl. They will never dare say anything negative about the company. I never understood why people join fan clubs of stocks. Personally, it's a pretty sad sort of a fan club. It's incredibly dull and boring, but people will join one and then sit there on social media all day singing praises of the company and saying how amazing everything is. I love AMD, the company. I use their products for my work. I'm recording this on a computer that runs on an AMD processor because it's the best that money can get. But my valuation says that there is no more upside to the stock for my personal valuation because I have collected it now. I've done it. I actually haven't sold stocks much at all recently because the financial downturn means that a lot of stocks took a big beating on their share price, including ones that I hold. The last position that I got out of was Palantir, and I sold that at a loss almost a year ago. And the last big position that I sold before that was Adobe, which was in August 2021. I even made a video about it on my channel right here, but I had about 3 subscribers at the time, so I don't think any of you probably have seen it. So in this case, the model is telling me that the share price right now is 2% overvalued using my pretty aggressive 30% per year growth rate assumption. And I've actually held a long position in Adobe until today, but I've just sold off all of my shares and I no longer hold any position in Adobe, including my man versus the market portfolio. So that's the first sell that I've made in that portfolio, and I'm moving the money to other places. I love the product. I love the company. I personally use their products and I really, really like them. I think they're great value, but in my view, the stock is just priced too high. So I've taken my gains and put my funds into some other stocks that I have higher expectations on growth for. So I don't sell stocks very often or lightly. I know, boring, right? But whenever a stock runs up to show no upside against my valuation, I will sell every single time because my thesis is that I want my money to always work as hard as possible for me at all times. I don't want my money sitting in a stock that I don't think should be priced higher, that I don't think should be going up. It might go up, but it doesn't really matter. I buy stocks when my valuation is significantly higher than the current share price, because the theory for me is that if my valuation is more accurate than the current consensus among the investing community, then eventually as quarters pass, as more data turns up and proves that this accuracy, if it is, more people will agree with my valuation and the share price will therefore increase. I have zero idea when that might happen or if that will ever happen. But this approach has worked very well for me for a long time now, and I intend on doing the same exact thing going forward. Now, I don't like sitting on cash, so I redistributed the money that I got from the AMD sale immediately. Most of it went into my existing positions. I bought more Tesla, more Fiverr, and more Pinterest, but I also opened up a new position that I haven't carried before and I haven't talked about on this channel. I shared the valuation of this new one in the Discord last week. Hopefully, I'm going to have some time to put together a video at some some point in the future on this YouTube channel as well. The funny thing is that now I have sold AMD, all of the positions in my Man vs. the Market portfolio are now in the red. Because I started this challenge in May 2021, that just happens to be the time that I began talking about stocks on YouTube. There wasn't any specific reason why I picked that particular timeline, it just happened. But it did mean that I was buying most of the stocks in that portfolio in 2021 at the peak of the market, and because I invest so much in growth stocks for the long term, a lot of the stocks that I own got hit pretty hard as the economy went south. But the great thing about the financial downturns that happen is that every smackdown is followed by a boom phase. And I'm extremely happy to sit here collecting a few more of my favorite stocks and waiting for the boom phase whenever that comes, and hopefully I will have to sell some more of my positions at some point sooner rather than later as they run up towards my target as well. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.